Some say it's just another day in paradise, and some say we've got 3 million homeless people in the United States. 95.5 KLOS, good morning. It's Christmas morning. Merry Christmas. My name is Frank Sontag. It's time for the Impact program. Impact is when we have some people come down and share some stories in their lives in studio, and I have a man across from me that I know and love very much. And if you have not heard him, well, stick around, take a seat, because you're going to hear some stuff that I don't think you hear all that much of these days when war and aggressiveness seems to be the mode of the day. Love is something that not enough people talk about, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about on a very special Christmas show tonight. And it is my very sincere pleasure to reintroduce, for the third time on Impact, Ray Castellani from the Frontline Foundation. Morning, Ray.
Good morning, Frank.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm very glad to be here. And Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. Our friendship started a year ago Thanksgiving. Do you remember that morning?
Sure. I mean, it was down on Skid Row with about 10,000 other people. And you and Jeff, I was down there with my son and Tex, and we got together that day out of all the people down there. And it just truly a miracle the way it happened. And the following, what happened after that is truly a miracle, because the people, through you, your listeners that have helped Frontline, has been phenomenal. So it's been a tremendous thing.
Thank you for that, and I'm sure I speak for my listeners, too, and our listeners here at KLOS. The Frontline Foundation, when did it form?
The actual inception, the actual going downtown for the first time was in December 1987. It's developed since then, and I've gotten now, a lot of people say, well, the first trip, and it must have been something, and yeah, it was. But the amazing thing that's happened is not the first trip, or the second, or the third. It's that I was down there yesterday and served 1,047 meals to people. That it has continued. That's the miracle. There are thousands and thousands of people that have gone downtown and served people. That's not a trick. Anybody can do that, and I can tell them how to do that. The trick is to go down there for 2 years in a row on the same time, the same corner. That's the trick, with the amount of food that has to go down there.
Now, when you say go down there, and people that haven't heard you before hear the Frontline Foundation, sounds like a big deal.
No.
What is the Frontline Foundation?
In one sentence, Frontline Foundation serves food to the immediate hungry on the streets, where there's no, I want to say building. It's right. We're right on the streets. We bring a white truck downtown. My son brings his truck, follows in with the tables and things. We set up right on this 5th and San Pedro, and we start serving food to these beautiful people. And I've grown to love this. It's a society. We're all together now, but they're just so beautiful, and they're just so caring and so loving towards what we're doing, and the change that takes place. The food is the vehicle, but the love that has transpired between us, the people that inhabit downtown Los Angeles, and the people bringing the food. This is what the miracle is. I mean.
You said this started 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. Is it something that you've always been interested in, feeding the homeless?
No. This is something I had absolutely no interest in whatsoever. This is something that came on me in the summer of '87. I actually left Los Angeles. I wanted no more to do with Los Angeles. I didn't particularly know what I was going to do. I just got in my truck. That's what I had left, was my truck. I lived out of the back of my truck. I did for the first time, too, when I used to go downtown, take the stuff out of the back of my truck, fill it with food, and go downtown and put my stuff back in the truck. I mean, I was not too swift in my living conditions. I don't know. I've never been able to nail that down yet, but it's okay. But the thing is that I was I believe, in life, just lost. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what my God, as I understand him, wanted me to do. And I just a lonely, lost feeling. And then the inception came in my head about going down back to Los Angeles. I'm up near Eureka, going towards Oregon, and it came in my mind about I want you to, it was no voices, but I want you, this feeling was prevalent. I want you to go downtown Los Angeles and serve some food. And now that's a strange thought. That's very, so, and that's how the thought began. And finally I kept repulsing the thought, and finally I turned the truck around and started going back to Los Angeles. And then the rest is a process that's happened. And everything has been laid out. I mean, there isn't anything I've done. God, there's so many great things that have happened, Frank, but one of the big things I know, I have nothing to do with this. This truly has been demonstrated through me, that I'm just following what is to be done, how it's to be done. Every move has been orchestrated for me. And then this program here, the listeners that you have, your listeners are powerful. I mean, there are... I have this man that when I first came to here a year ago, heard the show. His name is Zarek. And he heard this show, and he came in the very next day, or the week, or what. Introduced himself. Said, "Yeah, I heard your show, and I mean the show on Frank Sontag, and he's been coming he gets there at 3 a.m, sets up for me, saves my life." But this is what this program has done. There's a gal out there. Her name is Melitza that never has been downtown with me, but she comes and delivers food to me, on a Saturday morning when she gets off work. I mean, this is what's happened. There are people that you don't even know that have come from your show that have come down here and that have been absolutely tremendous. So,
what do you say we talk to some of the people out there that haven't heard you before? Talk a little bit and share a little bit of who Ray Castellani is, because I'll tell you, brother. There are very few people like you in the world.
Well, I don't know about that now. I don't know, Frank. I love you. I'll tell you that. But there isn't anything too special about me. I truly love what I'm doing. And what I do is I believe, like, if one wants to call it spirituality, whatever one wants to call it, I could care less. But the act of giving, the purity of giving, is what I'm into, so to speak. Give for the purity of giving and asking nothing in return. And I knew that when I first started there, I used to tell everybody, you must love, you must give with love, and this is what has to make the change in these people's lives. We're dealing with human beings in this area of downtown Los Angeles, and they're human beings that must be loved. And what's happened is that now these human beings love me or love the people that go down. So the circle is we're in a circle of love, and love can change the world. I mean, I'll tell you that right now. It can just do it. And so this is what my heart, my soul, my very being, my very essence is the fact is that I care about my fellow man. I just do. Now, I don't know why I do. I just do. And as a result of that, the area that I'm working in, or that I am most receptive, I'm searching for the word. I feel most comfortable in, is this area of Skid Row. That nobody wants to say, well, go down there and do this kind of stuff, but with me, it's just. I have to do it.
Why, of all places, Skid Row, though?
Because this is where I have to be. I have to be there. See, I didn't choose that place, and I said, well, I don't have any other focus. My only focus right now in life is being of service in this area as best as I can. I'm not saying I'm any great at it. I now am. It's the people like you, like your listeners, like the people in Frontline, which there are hundreds now, that have developed and gotten behind me, or now way in front of me, because it's the people that make this Frontline so powerful. It's not me. It really isn't. And the entity that goes downtown is pure. And Frontline is clean. I don't get any money for this. I will never accept any money for this, because I lose my power, lose my strength if I do. This is totally a free deal. Everything is given by donations and by food, and I create a little pantry that's working. And It's remarkable. I have enough. Frank, I've said this before. I'm going to get going here.
Good.
But I said this before, is that the formula by which Frontline works can wipe out hunger in this area, or at least minimize it so people aren't starving on the streets. I mean, it's like if I said to somebody, well, this is 1990 soon, and we have a line down at 5th and San Pedro with people hungry in our streets in Los Angeles. Now, this is not the homeless that you see that they're coming up with their little bags and they want their lunches for their house that night. They're hungry too, don't misunderstand me. But these are people, when I give them a sandwich or the soup, it's right then and there that they're eating it. And that's hungry. And some of these people haven't eaten in a day or two. And this is our country. This is our city. This problem, it doesn't have to be a problem. I'm saying it. I'm saying it loud and clear. The government doesn't want to hear me say these things. The city doesn't want to hear me say these things. And I'll defy them all, and I'll challenge them all to see that the formula that I've got works. And I've got records because everything is documented. I have everything documented. I'm totally legal. The foundation is legal. The government, I'm with. Everything is. I staple my receipts in a book. There's no cheating. And my monthly what comes in goes out. That's it. Last year, in a period of time, 67,000 people were served food on $27,000. Now that's not a bad deal. Where's all the money going to all these other places? I don't want billions of dollars. I don't need billions of dollars. You know, I don't have the United Methodist Church in Sherman Oaks lets me use their kitchen. Beautiful. I wrote the mayor for a facility. I wrote 15 councilmen to say I needed a facility to help me. No, I got nobody. We not even said, Ray, good job done. Nice for feeding 100,000 or serving 100,000 people some meals. Doesn't anybody care? This was my feeling inside. That hurt me. I probably should be quiet now, Frank.
No, keep going.
But I mean, this is what hurts me, inside, and this is what I care about, and I care about people that are hungry on the streets. And this formula will work in New York, Chicago. It'll work in any major city where there's hunger. I mean, it can't work in a small town where there's homeless but it can work where people are starving on the streets. And I just as simple. It works. What's being done right now works, and the way it's being created and the way it's being orchestrated. Maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe when I check out, the formula will go on to somebody else, and fine, it will. But there are people that are interested. There are enough people in this city that are in front line that are interested in the vitality of giving dignity to their fellow man in this area of Skid Row or the areas such as Skid Row. And it's just it's a powerful entity, and it's demonstrated through love, the process of love and giving. And if I have to be castigated for wanting to love my fellow man or give for the freedom of not wanting anything in return, then I'll be castigated. I don't have any problem with that at all. Woo.
Over 2 years ago, the first time you went down to the corner of 5th and San Pedro, as the story goes, you fed 111 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a pot of coffee.
Correct.
Recently, you went over 100,000 people fed on that corner.
Yesterday, yes, the answer to that question is yes. Yesterday, we served 1,047 meals, and we are now up to 108,900 and some odd people, but I'm not counting. But yes, over 108,000 meals that have been served in this area.
The first time you went down there with the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, looking back on it now, what do you know now that maybe you didn't know then?
I didn't realize there was so much pain. I didn't realize there was so much hunger. I didn't realize there was so much heartbreak. I didn't realize there was so much hurt. And I didn't realize, too, that there's a group of people that need a little love and a little caring for. These are the things I didn't realize. I'm dealing with humans. I'm dealing with human beings. And There people say, well, they can get up if they want to get up. This is not true. This is not true. I don't deal in those areas anyway. I won't even address questions, such as that. If a person is hungry, the stomach is the only thing that knows the person's hungry. Whether they can get what they do with the sandwich is not. I'm not interested in that. But if a person is hungry, the stomach tells the brain that they're hungry. And I'm not going to say, well, can you get a job someplace? That's not my thing. It's like, so these are the things that I've learned. I've learned about a section of humanity that is most people, they don't want to look at it. They'll hoard them into buses and put them in when the area gets cold, or it's not good. It's not good. We're a humane society, and we're not addressing the situation, and it can be addressed. It's not a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. And I don't have to change these people. They don't want to change me. I don't want to change them. I don't want to change you. I don't want to change the people, the listeners. Let you all be what you want to be. But if a guy is hungry, let's help him out a little bit. If a little old lady's walking across the street and she can't get across the street, somebody's going to help her across the street. What's so bad about that? There's nothing bad about it. And so I'm learning. I have to learn so much. And maybe I don't have enough time to learn all my lessons, but there's much I have to learn, and much I have learned. But I'm open to learning. At least I'm open to learning. And I like truth. I like reality. I don't like not truth. I use good language here in this program, but I love truth. I love truth. Let's talk of truth. What's wrong of truth? Not things that my mind makes up. There's really a street down there. There are really live people. And, let's talk about the situation. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's address it. And people talk about it. People say, well, there's another thing that, I can do this if I had that. That's wrong. Do it and then get it. If I waited till I found out what was, the coalitions in this town and the pantries that are supposedly help the organizations that say, oh yeah, well, they're sitting in front of the stores getting all the canned goods from the public people coming out of the store, and where's it go to? I didn't get one single can of soup from any of these people. Not one single solitary can of soup. 1 can or 1 pound of coffee given to me from any of these so-called big organizations with the stars and all that stuff. I didn't get one of them. Frank, they're not going to have me back on again if I keep talking like this. But it's true.
Let me jump in with my story. The day I met you, I went down to a mission down there. I don't have to say the name. Gave a bunch of my clothes out of my closet and spent a little time down there, and there wasn't any healing going on in the room. People didn't seem like they wanted to be there. I started asking questions. I found out it was mandatory through some rehab programs that they volunteer their time. So a friend of mine and I said, let's get out of here. Let's really go down to the streets and see what's happening. Met a man down there, told him about my story, and he laughed at me. He said, those clothes aren't going to go to anybody down here. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, they're going to go up to some shop blocks from here, and they're going to sell it and get a little money and do what they want to do with it. And I couldn't believe it. I said, you mean to tell me that it's not enough these days to be a kind soul to go down to, in this case, a particular mission, give clothes, and that would be enough? And he said, no. He said, see all these people around here? This is Thanksgiving. You think they're going to be around here tomorrow? And then he says, see that guy over there? And he pointed at you. He said, he loves us. He'll be here tomorrow. He'll be here next week and next month and next year. Next thing you know, we become friends, and as the story goes, here you are in the chair. But the point I want to make here is you're talking about these big organizations. Here it is this time of year, Christmas, giving, people reach in their pocket, write a check out to the local organization that helps people. It's almost contradictory that a man such as yourself that just pulls this foundation together with a handful of people that just have love in their hearts, next thing you know, you fed over 100,000 people. There's something very strange about that you're struggling, but yet some of these big organizations, they have a lot of salaries to pay attention to and this and that. What is lost in a group that size? Is there a degree of integrity that's lost?
I don't think it's integrity. I just think it's the material doesn't go to the right place. That's all. If I'm giving, if somebody gives me a pound of coffee, that coffee's going downtown. That's not going anyplace else. If they give me donations in the financial area, that money is used to buy cocoa because I have to buy it in 100-pound drums, or buy things that I can't, that people don't donate to me. There's no middleman here. It goes from you to me to downtown. That's the way it is. When I say something to anybody downtown, I mean it. When I say I'll be here, I'll be here. When I say I have something for you, I have something for you. So I think see, if I get 100 pounds of fruit, like they love fruit cocktail, put fruit cocktail. If I have a fruit cocktail that's going there, and I get fruit cocktail from these places, my fruit cocktail's going downtown. I'm going to bring it downtown. Personally, I'm going to bring it downtown.
So something kind of gets lost in the red tape.
Totally.
For lack of better words.
I want to know where the food is. I'd love to know where that food is, because I know they're doing great, and I'm not knocking it. But here's a guy. I asked for a few cans of soup. I don't want 10,000. I'll do my own deal. But can't you help? Then this Los Angeles Coalition for something or other. I know the names. They want an on-site inspection of where I deliver the food from the health department. On-site inspection before they're going to give me the food that I'd have to pay 10 cents a pound for, which is fine. I do it. They want an on-site on Skid Row. So I'm going to tell the guys down in the health department, well, I'm delivering down on Skid Row, folks. I'm sorry, but they didn't clean the streets today. I mean, this is what I was told. All my the 501c forms, all the things. I mean, they were all together. There's two beautiful people, Cynthia Humphrey and Richard Hume, that never went downtown with me. Now, this is an example of how the power of people and what they could believe in something like this. They came down to the kitchen one time on Beverly Glen, and they helped me make sandwiches, and they were beautiful. And now they introduced me, and we talked, and they looked me square in the eye, and they said, "You don't need help here. This is going good. What you need help is you need a little financial help." And here I'm struggling. Sometimes I got 84 cents to start a whole week to feed 1,400 people, so it gets a little ticklish once in a while. And I said, well, yeah, that's fine. Do you know that these people, and people say they're going to help, I said, well, I'll help. That Cynthia and Richard and their friends have probably this year, now I think we said $27,000. Out of that $27,000, I think 6 of it has come from them. And their group of people that have helped Frontline Foundation. And another man has come in, his name is Myron Funk, with $50 a week, every single week, that has come in from almost 2 years, that has come in. That's action, putting the money where the mouth is, or whatever that phrase is. That's, wow, I said, wow, I can have, I don't have to worry about $4.50 for some juice that I can't buy because I don't have enough money, because I got to, be frugal with what I've got. I can go down and buy 4 Cocos, or, this is the difference. This makes the difference. And that's where there are people that help like this. I go to the coalitions, give me 1 pound of coffee, and I've never gotten a pound of coffee yet, which is, I use a coffee as as an example. But I want to know where all that stuff goes. I'd like to know where some of that food. I'd like to know where the people, when they come out of the supermarkets, piling all that food up, where's it go? Well, they'll give me a list of where it goes. I know. I was over at their thing, and they had nothing for me, which is fine. I only feed the people that are hungry on the streets, and probably it's a lower class of people, maybe. I don't know. Hunger is hunger. So I'm not knocking it in any way, shape, or form, but, they could help out a little bit, too.
Let me reintroduce you. This is Ray Castellani from the Frontline Foundation. We'll take some phone calls in a few moments. I'll let you know when to call in if you have any questions or comments at all for my guest. Do you remember a couple years ago, the first day you went down there and fed the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
Were you scared?
No, I have no fear. I have no fear. I have no fear. That's one thing I haven't got.
Were you wondering why you were asked to be there?
You better believe it. Ask me if I wanted to be there. The answer is no. No, it just had to be there. had to be there. Something I had to do. No, I'd rather be I'd rather be in a house in Beverly Hills with a maid and a swimming pool, and that I'd like to have better.
Maybe inviting Sontag over on Saturday
Sure.
nights to watch some videos or something.
Cook a little spaghetti for you. Sure.
There you go.
No, this is not. This is just something I had to do.
So how did you do it? You pulled up and just.
I went to the church and I asked this the secretary Becky there. I told her what I was going to do, and I said I needed your kitchen to make some sandwiches, and I said, well, I'm going to bring them down to Skid Row, and she opened up the drawer and gave me the key, and I said, wow, that's something, and I hustled up a couple of friends of mine, and another guy came down with me on the first trip down. My son came down on the second one, and then Noreen started the Tuesday group that we go down on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and you've been down with me all those days, Frank, and it just developed. It like I said earlier, the process by which this is developed has just been orchestrated for me. It's just been orchestrated for me. I have done nothing except follow what I'm supposed to do. I mean, and many's the nights I'd wake up because it's, I didn't want to get anybody hurt down there. And many's the nights I'd wake up and I'd say, oh yeah, this will work. No, this will work. I couldn't tell anybody because it had to be from inside of me that I was getting mine from some other area, and that I had to give this to other people to give them the strength so that. And then I knew that if anything was going to happen, it was going to happen to me. And I felt very good about that because I knew that, and that came over me. That relieved me of all the pressures of anybody else getting hurt, or because it's not a pleasant area sometimes, but neither is Beverly Hills or Torrance or places like that. I mean, it doesn't make any difference where you are. Little towns, they have their. Down in San Diego with the guys with the guns and the McDonald's. I mean, it's all over. So it's just I just have no fear because this is what I'm supposed to do, and I care very deeply for this group of people. For this, I think myself. I go downtown on Skid Row on a Sunday and give out some cocoa or some water in the summer. I go down there to sit and relax and clean out my soul, because the level of honesty there is pure and it's real, and what's happening is really happening. And I sit with the boys and they talk to me and I talk to them, and the women, they come up and they hug me, and this is a beautiful relationship that I have, that I in this area. And I just, like I said, bring water down. Water is a premium downtown in the summertime. In the wintertime, I'll bring down cocoa or something on a Sunday. And it's a beautiful, I just love it, just doing that one little thing by myself. Now, this is no big deal. This is not a Saturday where I'm bringing 50,000 sandwiches or something like that. This is just, and I sit there and just talk with the people, and to clean out my soul, because it's about as clean as I'll ever get, and probably not the cleanest section of town, but I'll feel clean when I leave there, and I'll feel sorry that I can't. I sometimes want to stay with the boys. I feel my fallen brothers, and I see those. There's a guy by the name of McAdoo. I cry when I see McAdoo. McAdoo, he lies there, and sometimes, he's just. It's like my brother, and he's really fallen, and it hurts me to see this man, because he'll get up when he can't even stand up, and he'll get up and he'll come over and he'll say, "I love you, Ray." I mean, this is a man that everybody will pass by on the street or walk around, because it's not a pleasant sight to see him, but yet I have nothing but respect for this man, and love for this man. And he, in turn, for me. And there are many stories that I could tell like that. But this is what it's like. This is what has developed. This is what feeding the hungry has developed into. So
I want to get into an area we've never gotten into before on the air. We have a little bit, but not really delved into it. You said it came to you in the form of a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Some people hear voices. Some people get revelations, flashes, momentary and gone before you know it. As you say, you don't care where it comes from. You just know that's what you're supposed to do. Philosophically.
It's a big word.
Yeah, it is. Do you think that everybody has a purpose? Everybody has a task to do in this life?
I think so. I kind of think, I never thought about that. Yeah, I kind of think so. I kind of think that everybody's got a little something to contribute, no matter how big or how large. There's everybody's got something to put in that can put in the pot and make it a little bit easier for their fellow man.
Where I'm going is if everyone listened to that, or felt that feeling and acted on it, as you have,
the world would be a utopia. The whole world would be beautiful, because there's good in everybody, and if they bring out that good or that inspirational feeling towards their fellow man, the world would change, because everybody would be helping everybody else, and the thought of somebody else could change the destiny of the world in a split second. So
you really believe this stuff,
oh
right?
Boy, let me tell you, I believe it wholeheartedly. I mean, unequivocally, I believe. You better believe it.
You believe it because you live it.
Right, well, right. I've seen it. I'll bring you downtown with me, Frank. You've been down there many a time with me. We walk the streets. There's nobody bothers us. They love us. Nobody else can do that. And I ain't no big guy. We can't take on the world. But love can change it. And I don't know anything about anything else. I want to say I got no. I don't have any books I read or I don't have any of those things going on in my head. My head is kind of empty. That's what's kind of good about my head. It's kind of just nothing in it. And the only thing I know is that I got to bring food to people that are hungry. And, my God as I understand him. That's what governs my life, period. I got no religious facilities or backgrounds or anything. I just believe that I have a God as I understand him, and he runs my life, and that's the way it is, and that's what I do, and that's why I don't have any fear, is I trust this entity with everything I got, and I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to know anything about it. I don't have to know anything about it.
Let me give out some phone numbers, okay?
Sure.
All right. If you would like to be on Impact this morning, the phone lines are open, and they are as follows. In the 213 and 818 area code, our main line, 520-KLOS, 520-5567. We have tie lines in the outlying areas. 714 area code, the number there is 977-KLOS. In the 805 area code, 629-KLOS. And in the 619 area code, 5701-KLOS. Okay, we're back, and the phone lines are open. You'll talk to Jeff McMurray, our program coordinator. You're welcome to call up and ask anything at all. If you have any comments, feel free to give us a buzz right now. Phone lines are open. Ray, what do you need right now from listeners out there?
Boy, that's a heavy question. I can't say it has to be a specific food that I need, because if I say food in generally, I get stuff I don't need. So, I'm looking for a facility to house Frontline. This can be in the valley, in the San Fernando Valley somewhere, because that's where most of the volunteers come from. And my pantry that I'm creating, if people want to donate food to me, then they can call me. And
what's the phone number?
It's area code 818-345-8946. That's Frontline Foundation. It can be also looked up as Frontline Foundation.
345-8946 and the 818 area code. We got some phone calls to get to in just a moment or two. A couple more other questions I want to get to. Someone that is out there listening that might not have a whole lot of money, could they come down and help out?
Oh, sure. Oh, that's the energy of this whole thing, our people. Oh, I love that. I welcome all new people to come down. It's a greatest group of people that are working here. They come down on a Saturday. they can come down on 8:30 and meet me at the church right now. That's where we are. That's at Ventura Boulevard and Beverly Glen in Van Nuys. And if they're there at between 8 and 8:30 on a Saturday morning or a Tuesday morning, same time, I go down on Tuesday. Wednesday night I probably would steer away from because it's kind of especially when it's dark. Well, you know, Frank, it's kind of it's a little different at night. So but during the day, yeah, I welcome anybody can help me, and it's that energy which is what's done it. It's the energy of people that care, and that these people, you have a guy from your show named Jim, and he's called in, I guess, with you, and he's been down several times now, you know. And I get these people from your station, from your follow. You got a good following out there, and they just love you, and they come down and they help out, and they're there. This guy Raphael comes in. He's a kid, 20 years old. I'm just mentioning some names here, but I mean it's amazing what the people. Yes, the people are vital to what I'm doing, because that's what it's based. That's what the whole thing is based on: people and love and caring.
I'm going to share a little of my own experience. We'll take some phone calls. I got some more questions for you. You know, it's rigged, though. When I went down there and met you, I mean, I was scared. I talked about this, our first show we did with you and Tex, and I mean, I was scared out of my mind. I mean, it's not one of the greatest of, and I found that I had to go back. That the more I was down there and looked in people's eyes, I realized, man, they're no different than me. And it was almost like a transforming experience and a healing experience for me. Let alone I get to like give out some stuff and feel like I'm serving fellow man. And to be honest with you, I felt like I got more back 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more back than I gave out. You know the feeling?
Sure. That's the trueness of giving is when one knows that they're going to get a good feeling from giving and casts that out. Then you've got the purity of giving. See, I know the beautiful feeling I get when I come back on a Saturday or a Tuesday, but I cast those feelings out, because then if I'm thinking about having a good feeling, then there's something in it. But the purity of it is casting that idea out and then going down and having the feeling and saying, thank you for what I've been an instrument of use, and it's beautiful.
So expectation doesn't
no
exist for you.
No expectations, right? Not for me now. You know, that's pure, because I believe in that. See, I can, if I go in looking for something, like people say, well, give. In order to give, you'll feel good if you help somebody. Well, that's really not good. See, not in my book, because then I'm expecting to feel good. I want to go here to get something. Go here to give. Well, what am I going to get? No. See, and that's the trick. The trick of giving is just give for the purity of giving, and most of the time, people, you know, I did all the wrong things in life. I want you to know that. I mean, I gave, here, I'll give you this, I'll give you that with my hand out, saying my left hand's out as I was giving you with my right, figuring what's in it for me. So this is a pure shot, and it must be that way for me. Now, I'm not trying to bring this on to anybody else, but I'm the one with no fear. So I don't care. If I check out tomorrow, that's fine. That's fine. I have no fear of dying. I just have no fear, and I'm ready to go at any time. So,
one other quick one, and then we're going to take some calls. Someone called up last year when I had John, or actually this summer, and said, talk about the peanut butter and jelly story and the love thing. About
with the sandwiches.
Yeah, and I want my listeners to hear the story again.
See, like I said, people think I'm a little nuts anyway when I start this thing. And I used to insist upon making things with love. Well, when somebody came down the kitchen, I would say, well, make the sandwiches with love. And it was, how am I supposed to make them with love? I said, well, just love that sandwich. You know, it's going into a human being's hand. So, anyways, one day somebody came down and made some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I was noticing that this individual was kind of, I don't want to say hostile, but there was a air about the human being that was a little arrogance there. And anyway, the individual was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I sort of put the individual to the side because I didn't want to. I knew that if those feelings were there, I didn't want to hurt the individual. And so anyway, the sandwiches went downtown, and strange thing, they started returning. The sandwiches started coming back, that they didn't want the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. There weren't that many, but and I got to thinking about that. And I said, my God, here it is. And I had that feeling inside of me. I should have taken it aside and just thrown them away. But they did start coming back. And when there's so much love in that kitchen, that anybody that is hostile or angry or acrimonious, that's a good word. I learned that in high school.
I'm impressed.
They can't stand to be in the kitchen, and they'll try to knock, put down. You know, and boy, it's like, always remember one thing: when somebody's kicking you in the rear end, you're ahead of them. Always remember that, and I always remember that. And so I get knocked a lot for a lot of crazy things, but it's okay, because 108,000 people have had a few meals, and they didn't have to worry about preaching or prayers, or because you see, the true spiritual thing, the purity of spirituality, and this is not opinion, this is just the way it is the act of giving. So when a sandwich goes in a human being's hand and not asking anything in return except, here, my brother, or here, my sister, that's as spiritual as I'll ever get. Period. As I'll ever get.
Let's take some phone calls. Cheryl, good morning. You're on the Impact program with my guest, Ray Castellani. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to tell you a little something about Ray. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you fine.
Oh, great. Okay. Ray is what Christmas is all about. Christmas is about the coming of Christ, which brought faith and hope and peace to mankind. And this is something that Ray has brought to downtown Los Angeles. He's filled these people with hope and faith and love. They know that Ray and the people that come down there genuinely care about them. And it's great. It is what giving and receiving. To see these people, they know that you're down there because you care. And Ray brings more love and more hope and more joy to these people than you can possibly even imagine. And he's right, that kitchen is filled with love. And Ray is Father Christmas. He is what Christmas is all about. He is our modern-day Santa. And, Ray, keep doing what you're doing. We all love you.
I love you, baby.
And Zarek says hello and sends his love, too. And Lisa and Karen and all of us. You have brought so much to our lives and thousands of people downtown. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart. You have a good night and a good Christmas tomorrow, as best you can, okay?
You too.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mike, good morning. You're on the Impact program.
How you doing, Frank and
Good.
Ray?
Hi.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
I work down in L.A. I do janitorial work down there. And every Friday night when I drive past this at San Pedro, I see your truck out there.
My white truck.
Huh?
My white truck.
Right. And I've been curious of what's been going on there, and I figured it was somebody handing out food. And just last week, I saw you, and I was thinking about who this is, and he's coming down here every week, giving out food. He must really care about these people. And it's funny, I'm driving home tonight, and I hear you're on the radio, and I just would like to thank you and just congratulate you on some great work. That giving out food to these people is just tremendous. And what I would like to do is one night when I'm driving by and I see you, I'd like to stop and meet you and just see what you're all about and see how your operation works.
I'd love to have you, Mike. You got my telephone number there, right?
Right.
Well, just call me and I'll get back to you.
What time are you usually there?
Well, I'm there in the afternoons. Is a good time to get me on that number.
Because I see you there at night. Is that a bad time?
Yeah. Well, at night, yeah. You see me there, yeah. The best time is to come call me, and then we can arrange a meeting.
Okay.
That would be the best.
Okay.
Rather than to come there at night with me.
Right.
Hey, Mike, before you go, I got a question for you. And it's not a test, so don't feel put on the spot, but what do you make of this coincidence? You know, you said you've been thinking about him, and the next thing you know, here he is on my show. You got anything?
I think it's a sign maybe that I should get involved. And I plan on getting involved, whether it's donating food or donating my time. I would really love to get involved, and because I see it every day down there, just the people. And I think if the people just see that they are normal human beings just like me and you, that their attitudes will change. People see the stereotypes that they're crazy and they don't want to work for their living. They're not that way. I've talked to a few of them on the street for 5-10 minutes, and they're just like me and you, Frank.
I know that. I went down and risked myself, and I'm glad that you contributed to the program this morning, Mike.
I appreciate it.
All right, you take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Coincidence, all right? Elisa, good morning. You're on the Impact program here on KLOS.
Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Ray.
Hi, good morning.
Ray, I think you're doing a wonderful job. And this is my first semester involved with student government at Santa Monica College, and I'm realizing how easy it is to make money go to an organization that you want to go to. And I want to organize something with you with the Frontline program at Santa Monica College, the community as a whole, to do something. Right now we're organizing a swim-a-thon for Heal the Bay, and we're planning on raising $10,000 in 1 hour for Heal the Bay. And we can do something for Frontline, too, and I think for all the schools involved, UCLA or West LA College, there can be programs going all over to help these people down there. I don't know.
That's you have a powerful entity there.
Because there's all these young people out there, all these students who have time to donate to these organizations and to you.
Powerful. You have please contact me, Lisa, because you have the schools, the young. I bring young people downtown. It gets these people. Their minds begin to think that there's a chance. But the power of the youth, you have it, and you can demonstrate it in just what you're doing, whether it goes to me or not. But as long as it's going to some area that helps humanity or any kind of thing, bays or animal, anything. I believe in all that, and our whole world would be just a better place if people went into that direction and thought of these things. I don't want animals to go. Animals will go, and then the birds go, and the oceans are going to be polluted, and then pretty soon they're going to get us. If we don't start thinking along these lines. So you have the power. Use it. Focus. I give you one thing. Focus. It takes focus, and without the focus, you'll be fragmented. You or any other human being. I have total focus in what I'm doing. I'm just doing one small little thing, but I have total focus on it. So if you want to help me in any way, shape, or form, whether it's 1 pound of coffee or 1 can of soup or something like that, you contact me. We'll work together. But someone like you that's got that energy going for something like what I'm doing.
I definitely want to organize something with you. I have your number, 345-8946.
Yes.
818.
818, right. And
okay.
And if a young woman by the name of Noreen calls you back, she works right alongside with me. So it'll either be her or myself that will get back to you.
Okay.
Okay, Lisa, I love you.
Are you doing something tomorrow?
No, honey, they don't need me tomorrow. But on Tuesday, I'm doing something on Tuesday. If you want to come down with me on Tuesday morning, they'll be awful hungry. So but you can come over to the church, Lisa, at between 8 and 8:30 on the corner of Ventura and Beverly Glen, and come right down with us, right downtown.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, great.
Okay.
Have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
And a happy holiday.
And a happy
Thank
holiday
you.
to you. Right.
Good night.
Good night. Question. It's a good one. Is it possible to give someone self-respect?
I answer this with this. It's an old cliche that a guy gave me a long time ago, and it goes like this. What he is speaks so loud, I cannot hear a word he says, by example. And I hope in some small way that I'm an example of a little bit of respect for my fellow man. Thereby, he or she seeing this in me may say, well, I'll have a little respect too. And so I believe it is by example that self-respect can be cultivated in any human being.
I think anybody that has any common sense knows that the world's pretty crazy these days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you and I both come from the same thought of we believe in the goodness of people. What's going on? Why is it such a mess out there?
You want one word?
Whatever comes up.
Selfishness. The world has become, the individuals have become more involved with self, thereby creating a selfish, self-centered world within their own framework and cutting off everything else. I mean, we kill the apes, the mountain apes, because of people building condominiums. We have no regard for these things. The Asiatic elephant. I mean, these are areas that are vital, and we're just taking them off. And why? Not because we think it's good or because we think it's bad, but because we're selfish. I had the list. I'm not going to, like I say, I've got a lot to work on. But
where does fear come into play?
Fear?
We got a lot of people out there that are afraid.
Everybody is. I mean, I ask you this, Frank. Who is the prisoners? The people or the ones that are in jail? You go down any street in Encino or Tarzana or Beverly Hills, you see great big high fences and electric eyes and cameras and buzzers and this and that. Who are the prisoners? The people inside the house. I'm not. The people inside the house. I mean, it's scary. See, it's scary.
Well, who in the hell are they afraid of?
I think they're afraid. Oh, I can't answer that. I don't know. I just think it's the unknown.
I think maybe they're afraid of themselves.
I don't know whether it's themselves, but I think it's the unknown of not knowing if tomorrow is really going to come, or if my money's really going to be there, or if my car is going to be ripped off, or the possessions, the insurances that you've got. I mean, everybody is it's exploding, Frank. The houses, it costs so much. Am I going to have enough money to pay the rent? I mean, it's just on and on and on. I mean, it's just an explosion. The landlords do this because they need that, and the taxes need more of this, and it's getting bigger. And so the fear is just a terrible thing that comes in. I mean, it's a crippling factor, fear. So I guard all these things with dogs and electric eyes and beepers and poppers, and then I have a heart attack and die, so it's all. But no, fear is a crippler. Fear is a tremendous crippler. Fear of being alone, fear of losing everything. I mean, people say, well, I don't care if I lose this watch I don't care if I lose my job. Watch when they start. They come back 2 weeks later, their knees are going to be shaking. They're going to say, well, I'm going to lose my job next week. They'll be shaking. Well, I don't have to shake. I don't have a job. So.
You don't have that big gig, huh?
No, I don't.
You ain't some guy that, makes big money by day and then goes and feeds the homeless at night, huh?
No, but I'll tell you something right now, that the loss of when you have $2,000 in my pocket, I'm afraid of losing that. But when I'm down to my last dollar, I don't have any more fear. And the trick in that deal is that when you have the $2,000, not to have any fear. See, listen, I'd be glad to try it with $1 million.
Let's take a few more calls. It's a little after 1 o'clock. This is KLOS Los Angeles. And good morning, Brian. You're on the Impact Program.
Good morning, Frank. Thank you. Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's good to hear that there's somebody out there willing to be a part of the solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to plug a little program down here in Orange County. The problem with the homeless and the destitute in L.A. County certainly is large. Money certainly has an equal problem. And to add to our woes, we have a problem with the police down here, that they are actually combating our efforts by coming around and removing what we provide. Our group provides a simple food and clothing service. We haven't a building. We have no specific places that we work out of, other than 1 or 2 places that we hit once a week each. But after we go there in the early morning, the wee morning hours, the police will sweep through and basically gather up what we've provided. And I'd like to make 2 appeals. First, I'd like to say that when I'm finished here, I'd like to leave a telephone number with your switchboarders for interested parties to contact me at to provide any kind of help you can at all. And second, I'd like to make an appeal to Orange County residents to contact your representatives, contact your congressman, contact your city councilman. If anybody knows anybody in the police force, contact them and ask them to ease up on these folks, because we're not looking at a situation where people are living on the streets by choice. This is a situation that is nationwide, worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a situation where people are doing this as a matter of course, as an alternative to the yuppie lifestyle. This is a situation where people are doing this because they have no alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to be able to think that the efforts that we put forth and the efforts that all these other good groups put forth are not going to go for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of your group, Brian?
We don't have a name.
Mm-hmm.
We're just a bunch of people who go out on Wednesday and Friday and Saturdays and provide food and whatever clothing we can gather during the week.
What phone number do you want to give me?
Shall I say it now over the air?
Yeah.
Okay. It's area code 714-733-3525, and I'd appreciate it very much for the sake of the other people involved if you would call in normal business hours. 7 days a week, but normal business hours.
Okay, and it might be in your interest to drop me a line with some information in that phone number again, and I'll make sure that the switchboard has it on my board.
Great.
Okay, Brian?
Frank and Ray, thank
Yes,
you
Brian.
again.
Thank you, Brian. You
Pleasure.
keep up the good work.
You too.
Okay? You cannot be thwarted for doing good. I'm telling you that right now.
Sure does look a little ugly sometimes.
I know, I hear you. But keep at it.
Bless you guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Brian. It looks like Madonna. Good morning. You're on the Impact Program.
Good morning. I want to say...
Is this my Madonna?
I want to say Merry Christmas to Ray, and to you, Frank, and to all the listeners.
She's got that radio on.
Yeah.
Is your radio close by?
Yeah, I'm turning it off now.
Okay, good. That's a little confusing. Do you know Ray? Ray's asking me if you're the... Who are you?
Yes, I'm the Madonna that works with Ray.
Okay, Madonna. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, it's me, Ray.
Okay, I love you.
I thought it was important that something that is said about the Frontline Foundation is that the volunteers come from all different walks of life. And I was surprised by that when I got involved only just a few months ago. There are students and people who own accounting firms. There's people in the film industry. The volunteers come from all walks of life, and I was impressed by the earnestness on everyone's part regardless of whether they were penniless or filthy rich. And I just thought that that's something that I'd like Ray to talk about. I think it would be good to have the other listeners hear about it and know that no matter what you do, where you come from, whether you're rich or you're poor, Ray can use your help. He's wonderful, and he's a tremendous inspiration to all of us. And I thought maybe you'd like to say something further about that, Ray.
Well, you know, Madonna, I've said this, and I'll say it loud and clear, and to everybody who's listening. You say that I'm inspirational, but the true reality, and here again, Frank, is where that true reality comes in, is that the people that I'm surrounded by, or that are surrounding this entity or Frontline, these are the unsung heroes of what this whole Frontline Foundation is all about. The little groups of people that come in on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday. I've got little kids coming in, 12 and 13 years old, helping out on a Thursday night from this Baptist school up in Tarzana. The myriad of people now, the cross-section of life that's coming in, and it's marvelous to see them knowing that they're excited about packaging some candies or unpacking bread and cutting bread. These are little groups of people that care about what we're doing, and there's literally now thousands probably. So when Madonna says that I'm inspirational, she is inspirational to me, because without them, I have nothing. I cannot. I'm not. There. I've got. I mean, there are just so many people. I mean, that have helped. I've got people coming in at 6. Everybody has their little jobs that they come in with. Madonna comes in now and she does the bologna and with the cheese, and you've got this guy Ed coming in with they need a checklist. And then Frank comes in, Big Frank comes in from fun, and he does his soup, and you've got, I mean, it's just on and on and on. Actresses, actors, people, all walks. These are the inspirational people. This is where the inspiration, this is where the inspiration, Jeff, this is where the inspiration comes from. When I get down and out, I get tired, I get very tired. These people pick me up. They literally care about saving me to keep me going another day. So I am, and Madonna, she's so beautiful, she just, makes me like, oh wow. Well, no, I'm nothing special. I'm what I am. I'm not going to deny that. I have this, I told you about the love and the care. But it's the Madonnas, it's the people that, the Lisas, I mean, I could just go down the list of names, there are just so many. My son, Danny, I mean, it's just on and on and on and on. There are just so many that are involved. All walks of life, all walks of people that care. And this is what Frontline has developed. And it's like, wow, what a spectacle. So this is the inspiration. It comes not from me, it comes from them to me, through me, and then downtown, and they all love. You get that, Madonna?
I sure do. You're a wonderful person, though. You say that it's us, and I know that no foundation like this or any organization like this can exist without all the people and all their input. But every organization like this needs a strong leader, and you're the best. We love you, Ray.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you for the call, Madonna.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Let's take one more call, and we'll talk to Eric. Good morning. You're on the Impact program. Boy, everybody's got their radio on. Come on over to the phone, Eric. Maybe you're...
Hello.
There you are. Eric, good morning. You're on the air.
Oh, hey, Brother Ray, it's Zarek. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Zarek? Is this Zarek?
It says Eric on the screen.
Eric?
Go turn your radio down.
Oh, no, I guess his phone had gone out at me. Hold on.
Okay.
This is your original listener from KLOS.
Uh-oh, I think we lost him.
Yeah.
I think we lost him. Maybe he'll call back. We'll put a priority on that call back, see if he buzzes back. One other question, and then we're going to wrap it up here. We're talking about inspiration and love and all these words that you hear from time to time. We all hear this stuff. And yet we talked about the world's still kind of crazy out there. So not enough of us have got it, or not enough of us are practicing it. You are sure, just as the sun's going to come up tomorrow, that everybody's got this stuff. This is what you're telling us.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Maybe uncultivated, but it's there. It's there. It just has to come out.
Do you find it kind of sad that when we talked about if everybody did that the world would be kind of utopian, and the utopian gets a bad rap?
Oh, Frank, we'll all get bad rap. That's no big deal. That's not the first time. But let me say this. If I can walk you down town on Skid Row and show you what it has done, that's the best example I can give you. The worst section of town, the heartbreak of town, the hurt of town, the area that is volatile, the area that is broken, and show you love, and show you what's happened, then if it's happened in these beautiful people that inhabit this section of town where there's no tomorrow for these people, most of them, they really live in the now, then God, it could happen uptown. If these people, the Lalos, the Als and the JJs, the Terrys, the Freddys, the McAdoos, if they can love, if they can turn this entity into love towards me, I'll just put me in the picture. I don't want to put me in the picture, but then what are we talking about here? If they have lost the ability to love, truly, these people I've mentioned, lost the ability to love, can turn around there and put their arms around me and cry on my shoulders with love. Then that question that you asked me, is it in everybody? If it's in the most heartbroken human being of life, then there's hope for everybody. Does that answer it?
No. Yes would be putting it mildly. Hey, guess what? This guy named Zarek's back.
Oh, Zarek.
What happened to you?
Hey, I guess I had a bad connection there.
I guess so.
Zarek, this is the man. He comes in at 3 in the morning, and he's from your original show that heard me on KLOS.
Merry Christmas to you, Ray. Merry Christmas to you, Frank. I just wanted to get in here and say hello and thank you for the opportunity of letting me help out.
Hey, listen, I told you that I just want you on that Saturday. I don't want you to do anything else. He's just unbelievable, this man. But just thank you, Zarek, for helping me so much. And I mean that, all within my heart and framework. So many people don't understand. I have this gal. In fact, I was telling her last night for 2 years she's been coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning, every Saturday morning, 2 years, and doing the juice, the cocoa, and her name is Nita. And I said to her that thank you, and she never gave me any problems. And Zarek is the same way. He comes in there, and he just puts this thing together and it just helps me so much because I have to say this, I do get tired. I'm not 25 years old. I'm 56. How about that, folks? But and I get tired, and these are the people that help me, and loyal, loving, caring, and these are the people that make it. And Frank, this man comes from your show. This is your listener.
So I guess I might be doing something okay.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah, I've heard you wonder before if anyone's ever out here listening, Frank. I just want to let you know I heard the show and I came on down. I've met you once or twice, and it's been years since I've seen you down there. Hoping to see you back soon.
You will. Saturday mornings I have a commitment right now to do news to Australia, but boy, as I told Ray, I haven't seen Ray in a few months, and I'm there in spirit, major, big time when I'm not there, and I miss everybody. It's like a family. I went down for just a short period of time, a month or two, and so as you know, just the people you meet down there, boy, you do anything for everybody else. It's just like one big happy family, and a lot of love and a lot of giving to give, and it's a real special time, and I'm glad that you hooked up with Ray.
Oh, well, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had the opportunity. I'd like to thank you, and maybe something good can come out of all this. And Yeah, for all those people out there that are wondering what Santa Claus does other 364 days a year, come to Frontline Foundation.
Thank you for the calls, Eric.
Thank you, Frank. Merry
right.
Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas to you, too. So that's who you are, huh? You got gray hair. Where's the beard, man?
Yeah, right.
Well, I'll tell you, Ray, it's been another good time, and it's part of me wants to say it's strange that, you know, I've had you back 6 months here and there, and I mean, here it is Christmas, and last year it was unplanned. I had you on Christmas Eve, and I don't know, just interesting the way that kind of works out.
Well, it's beautiful, Frank, and I truly want to thank you for all the help, and not only that, but the help that you've given me when I'm not on. That people say, well, last night Frank was talking about Frontline and about Ray, and that the people that you've helped that you don't know about, and so on behalf of all the people on Skid Row, they thank you, and all the people on Frontline, they thank you, and my son did ask me for one thing. He wants Bob Dylan. I forgot to ask you about that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I knew he was going to ask me.
Yeah, and I forgot.
That's okay. We'll take care of him. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to give out your phone number again.
Okay.
It's area code 818-345-8946. That is to the Frontline Foundation. If you would just like to talk to Ray or ask for more information or how can you get involved or what kind of food does he need, call that number. If Ray can't get back to you, Noreen will. Somebody will get back to you with some information and way in which you can do that.
And I do need the help. I mean, unequivocally need the help. So, in that area, the food area, and so.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask you for a closing comment. Make it kind of. I'm going to go over and get some Dylan for Ray Jr.
My son.
I miss him. And I don't want to get on his bad side.
No,
He's a big guy.
I know.
So give me a closing comment.
Well,
Let me go get some Dylan.
First of all, Merry Christmas to my son too, and he has been an inspiration for me also, because he has been comes down from Santa Barbara every week and has. So Raymond, I love you, and I love you very, very much. I love all my kids, and if I had a closing thing, I think somebody asked me this a while ago. I would wish that I guess I would wish that there would be peace and tranquility among our fellow man, and that I believe that the power of that entity is in the power of the people, and we all have the power to transmit that to each other. So that's what I believe, or would hope for, or wish for. And I wish everybody truly a Merry Christmas.
Same to you, and I'm going to leave you with 3 words. I love you.
I love you too, Frank. Don't make me cry.
I won't. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
And Ray Jr., here you go.